What up? It's just a guy on my lunch break back with you. 67 days now clean off of KRATOM. Just wanted to say that. I'm not going to talk a lot about KRATOM this particular video. I have something else I want to talk about, but if I don't mention it, inevitably somebody in the comments will be like, so you still clean? You know, because they know how addicts do. You know how we do. But no, still clean, guys. Hopefully I can make it home without slamming on brakes and this piece of wood going through my windshield. Until I start working again, I'm on something every day, getting some sort of project done around the house. But I had something quick to say about this P. Diddy situation. And what that is a lot of people think that the reason he's being denied bail is because of him somehow being a flight risk, right? I don't think it's that he's a flight risk, because, you know, the guy has, you know, offered to put up $50 million, multiple, you know, homes, family homes, give up his passports of his family, all those things. He even offered to pay for the security or the FBI surveillance that would be watching him to make sure that he didn't try to skip town, or to make sure that he didn't try to take flight, right? So I think it's pretty clear that their concern is not so much that he's going to be a flight risk. Also, too, I don't believe that their concern is that he's going to go out there and hurt somebody else, or go have another freak off, or, you know, go up in a hotel with a woman and, you know, beat her up, or you know, I actually don't think it's any of those things. I think that the real reason that they are trying to keep him in jail until his trial is because they have a fear that he is going to attempt to off himself, right? A lot of people are like, oh no, man, he's, you know, a big star like him, you know, he's delusional, he still thinks he's gonna beat it and stuff. And I used to think that, right? But I started thinking of it from a different perspective, right? And as a person who has been an opiate addict and has been through some of the most severe opiate withdrawals imaginable, I can tell you for sure that the delusion of how great things are for you, and the delusional, positive, hopeful mindset that you might have while tweaked out on OxyContin or Percocets or whatever it is that he might be getting or taking. Because, by the way, let me back up. All reports say that P. Diddy was a major drug addict, and one of the things that he was addicted to is opiates. Okay? So that's where I'm going with this. Do I think that he, for some reason, especially after hearing a year ago that, you know, his home got raided, and then he was gone, and people didn't know where he was for a while, you know this has been eating him the fuck up, okay? This man has gone through more stress and anxiety in the last year of his life than he ever has before in his life or career. Can we all agree on that? Absolutely, because you know they're coming, and you know they're coming for you. And you look at ones that have gone before you, that have had similar charges, like with the racketeering and the sex trafficking, all these different things, and you look at the Jeffrey Epsteins, and you look at the R. Kellys, and you look at those people who have gone before you, and there is no way in hell that Diddy has not been stressed to the fucking hilt for the past year of his life since his home got raided, right? And so I started thinking about that, and I'm like, look, if anything, he's going to lean more into, if he was a drug addict before, which by all accounts and by, you know, all testimonies of people that knew them and were close to them, he was an opiate addict. If anything, within the past year, his ass doubled down on the opiates, right? And when you have that kind of money, you see how it was with Prince. You see how it was with Michael Jackson. You see how it was with Matthew Perry recently. You know, if you can't get it off of the street, you can get a doctor if you have the kind of money that P. Diddy had, and a doctor, you know, some crooked doctor is making an extra $300,000 a year being P. Diddy's personal drug addict and personal drug pusher. Hippocratic oath or not, I don't give a fuck. There are doctors out there that will absolutely do that, right? We already know that. There's been plenty of doctors, won't be the first or the last, to sell their souls to the devil for this right here, you know, to buddy up and you know, rub shoulders with and get in good with, and be serving some of these wealthy, famous people, right? And so I started thinking about the fact that he's been doubling down for sure on his drug use in the past year or so. So when he got picked up, what has it been, a month, close to 2 months now? I'm not exactly sure of the date, but he's been in jail for, you know, a hot minute now, but not too long, all right? And this doesn't seem like the kind of jail where you can just get your drugs filtered in, you know. Now there may be a chance, and respecting his privacy, you know, in healthcare is something completely different, you know, when it comes to drug addiction and stuff like that. You know, if you get busted doing, you know, racketeering, sex trafficking, all that stuff, they'll tell the whole fucking world. They don't care anything about that. But if there's a doctor that, you know, if he was going through some major opiate withdrawal and they were concerned about his health, because opiate withdrawal from alcohol, you know, benzo withdrawal, that stuff can actually be a health concern. There are people that have actually had heart attacks or seizures and died from going through a really hellacious withdrawal of some sort. They're generally just uncomfortable, you know. I'm not saying that's commonplace, but if someone is a really heavy user, and depending on what the rest of their health looks like, it can potentially withdrawal can be potentially really dangerous. So we wouldn't necessarily know if he had seen a doctor come into the jail and help him, to give him something to kind of help with the withdrawals, right? Because they don't want him killing over dead and having a seizure, you know. And so it could have been that when they picked him up and they brought him in, that he started having all these issues. They, you know, had a doctor come into the facility, and it could be that they are prescribing him some things just so the guy doesn't seize up and die in the jail, right? Before even being able to serve justice, before justice is even served, okay? So that's one possibility. But there's also the possibility of that he just got picked up and he went into the jail and just fucking suffered. Get the hell out of the way. Jesus. 2 big ass turkey vultures. There's another one. Jackass. 2 big ass turkey vultures with wingspans like 6 feet long. Looked like a freaking dinosaur. It was just like 2 feet in front of my windshield. Something dead on the side of the road, and they're over there eating it. Disgusting fuckers. Anyway, so my thought process is they're not scared he's going to be a flight risk. You know, he offered to pay for the security that would actually watch him. Turned in all his passports of his family. Sold his homes, put his homes up for sale to pay for him being able to get out, even temporarily, right? Because you have to think that the delusion that he used to enjoy while high on opiates is long gone, right? So the only thing he's had a dose of since he's gotten into the jail is reality, right? So he doesn't have that delusion right now. The past year or so, he's probably, I'm P. Diddy, you know, he's running around, he's high as fuck all the time, he stays high all the time. I'm sure he's been thinking to himself, he's gonna beat this thing, he's gonna beat it, right? I'm gonna beat this. Well, how do you think he felt after they arrested him and he got put in jail? And on top of it, on top of losing his freedom, he lost access to all these good-ass mind-altering drugs that he was taking. How do you think, and what do you think he felt like, he feels like now since he's been in that jail, right? Do you think he's feeling like, oh, I got this, I'm gonna beat this, I'm gonna beat this? Or do you think he's hopeless, depressed, you know? And a lot of people will say, no, he probably still thinks he can beat it. Yeah, I get that, but he's a drug addict going through withdrawal, okay? Let me be clear about that. You ain't positive about much of anything when you're a drug addict going through severe opiate withdrawal, okay? So I think, me personally, the reason that they won't grant him bail is way less about the fact that he's a flight risk, and or way less about the fact that they're scared he's going to go and do harm to someone else. To me, I think it's way more about the fact that they are scared he's going to get out, make peace with everyone, say goodbye to his family, and he's going to have a professional to help him off himself in the most painless, humane way that he can think of, that Diddy can think of. He knows what happened to R. Kelly. He knows what happened with Bill Cosby. You know, I mean, he knows what happened with what's the guy, Jeffrey Epstein. You know, he knows what happened with that guy, you know. And I think he understands that there's a very, very strong possibility that he will spend the rest of his life behind bars. That is a shock to the system for anyone. Now imagine you're P. Diddy and you just got money on top of money, all the most beautiful cars, all the most beautiful women, all the most beautiful houses, taking vacations in all the most beautiful spots that the world has to offer, all of these things. And now you've lost your freedom and have been demoted to a jail cell where the food sucks and there are rats running around. And you're going through opiate withdrawal on top of it. Now, tell me that he still has the hope that I'm going to beat this. No, he doesn't want to get out so he can escape. He wants to get out so he can escape permanently. Just my thought. Just my thought. Tell me what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you next time.